And I got some books when I was in the library, in Part.2 library over here. Let's start with one of the little golden books, like Let's Go Around the Neighborhood. A little golden book. It was published in 1982. Long as I don't have the Little Bill series, I'm not into like the Little Bill, Dora and the Explorer and Caillou. I hate those. Here's another one called I Like to Help My Mommy, or maybe I Like to Help My Mom. Sorry about the page, they must have crumbled it. Published, released in 1981. I help my mom too sometimes, like washing and doing like the cooking sometimes. Yep, I just help her. Another one I have, The Three Little Kittens. It was released in 1942. It was published in 42 during the times of around World War II. The good old 1940s. Yep. Listen to Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy by the Andrews Sisters, having Bob Hope entertained the troops, making movies. Abbott and Costello was one of the good comedy teams of the era. Yep. And here's A Day in the Park. That's the last small golden book I have. Published, released in 1985. Today, this is not a Sesame Street books. The next one I have here, A Visit, A Sleep Over Visit. That's another size golden book, published in 1986, the year when the New York Mets won the World Series for the second time. I can't even sleep over. If I go to my friend's house like I did back then when I was a kid. And now I got here, before we end this, we got here the great movie series. Like the cover of James Bond with Sean Connery did this series. The Andy Hardy films, the Boston Blackie, and the Bowery Boys. I prefer Three Stooges Columbia shorts. And I found what year this book was published. It was released in 1971, and it's a hardcover. There's a picture of Kate Francis, 1905 by 1968. So what the series looks like. The first one I see is the Andy Hardy films with Mickey Rooney. Louis Stone, a couple of films like Judy Garland appeared in one of the Andy Hardy films. Here's one of the Blondie movies with Arthur Lake and Penny Singleton. And here's the popular comedy team with the Bowery Boys. Leo Gorcey, Hunts Hall, David Gorcey, William Benedict, Dave Dell, and even Bernard Gorcey when he was Louis Dombrowski. Actually played by Leo Gorcey's father, Bernard Gorcey. And they made about 48 Bowery Boys movies from 1946 to 1958 after the Dead End Kids and the East Side Kids. The Charlie Chan films. Yep. Wharton Oakland and Sidney Tyler, they both actors played Charlie Chan during like that period. Francis the Talking Mule series with Donald O'Connor. They made about 6 or 7 Francis movies, except for The Haunted House. Has the Mickey Rooney in it. There's the popular James Bond movies with Sean Connery. Yep, the first one was Dr. No in 1962, and then he did his final one, Never Say Never Again, in 1983. That's exactly of the 8 James Bond films. He was getting too old to do like James Bond. Sean Connery, and then the Roger Moore took over. Mr. Mortal, it's the Peter Lorre. And there's the popular Boston Blackie films with Chester Morris, Richard Dick Lane. I think it's the Falcon films with George Sanders. The Sherlock Holmes films with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce. They made 14 films from 1939 to 1946. Founded the Baskervilles to Dress to Kill. Basil Rathbone is Sherlock Holmes, and Nigel Bruce is Dr. Watson. There's one of the Tarzan films. I'm not really into the Tarzan that much. I like these old Tarzan films. Before we end this update, here's history of the movies. There's Gene Kelly in Singing in the Rain was one of his best musicals. Christopher Lee in the original Superman in 1978. There's Al Jolson in The Jazz Singer. This big hardcover book published in 1983. Yep. Here's one of the Western films. There's Butch Cassidy, The Sundance Kid with Paul Newman and Robert Redford. There's like Victor Pollen from 1927. That's a science fiction silent movie. There's The Creatures from the Black Lagoon from 1954. Godzilla. There's one of the Star Wars movies, like the first one in 1977, the second one, Empire Strikes Back, 1980, and Return of the Jedi in 1983, the same year when this book came out. Here's like filmmaking around. We're going to make Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange. There's Al Jolson in The Jazz Singer, 1927. Here's one of the early days of musicals. There's Flying Down to Rio with Dolores Del Rio and Gene Raymond and Fred Astaire. The first of the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers films of the 1930s. David Vorsi. There's got to be from Top Hat. There's 1958 musical of Damn Yankees with Tap Hunter and Glennon Virgin. And Lassa Grainer in South Pacific with the Zenobrazzi. And there's one of the schoolboy comedies, so I see You Can't Take It With You by Frank Capra. That's Up Doc with Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal, and there's a 1934 classic with Claudia Colbert and Clark Gable, the best picture of that year, It Happened One Night. There's one of the greatest epic gangster movies of all times, Marlon Brando, James Caan, Al Pacino in The Godfather in 1972. Did you know Godfather was 50th anniversary last year? One of the best gangster movies of all times. Of the directors of Francis Ford Coppola. And here is the Maltese Falcon with Humphrey Bogart, Mary Astor. Birdman of Alcatraz with Burt Lancaster in 1962. And there's Norma Shearer and Leslie Howard in Romeo and Juliet. It's a good movie, but sadly without those America's singing sweethearts of Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy. And there's Marie Oberon and Laurence Olivier in Wuthering Heights, produced by Samuel Goldwyn in 1939. Last but not least, here's a picture of the film with Donald Sutherland and Elliot Gould became a TV show like MASH. MASH has been around from 1972 to make the final episode in 1983 when everybody was just leaving the army base. This book is interesting about old-time films. I got this from like the library about a couple of books. And there's a picture of Humphrey Bogart owns the cafe in Casablanca. Here's looking at you, kid. You play it for her, you play it for me. Really, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. The last quote in the movie when he walks out of the airport with character actor Claude Rains. So that concludes everything for this week's update for March 6, 2023. I'll see you again next time when I have more updates for you. In the meantime, please comment or subscribe and ring the bell if you like this new video that I made. See you later, and I'll see you next time for more updates. Goodbye.